I know exactly what I'm doing. DFG, you heard? Yeah, I'm from the streets where the hood was swallowing me. Bullets are following me. These haters out to get me. Look how this product fit me. We move around with blickies. I got that bag, not a stash. Thick as Lionel Richie's. Jack riding out the 50. Many men wish death upon me. Don't hold your breath, a nigga step and get pressed to concrete. I'm God's blessed. I don't stress, I get dressed to R&B. Teflon on, doing duets with an Aubrey. It be some tragic shit. Paramedics looking sad as shit. Throw a sheet over you like a magic trick. It's Hoffa. Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.
What happened, man?
With what?
When you and Marlon Wayans, what was the deal with that, man?
Let me just start by saying this. I was being an asshole.
Okay, there we go.
Wait, talking about, wait, you gotta rephrase that.
There we go.
You like
There we go.
I would take this. I would take this. I appreciate that.
I was being an asshole.
We'll call that accountability.
I have publicly apologized. Like when I did the interview with academics, I publicly apologized to Marlon. I also sent him a text and privately apologized to him. He didn't respond, but I assume he saw the text. I was being an asshole. When it comes to interviews, if you're just a typical celebrity, interviews are something you do on the side. You know, use it to when you're doing a promo run, or maybe this is something you like to do every so often. For me, interviews are my whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's my entire legacy. It's my entire business. It supports an entire staff. It supports my family. This is what I leave behind. You know, these interviews is what I leave behind when I'm no longer here. So a lot of times I go overboard when it comes to getting interviews, and I overdo it.
A little obsessive.
This is, yeah, I'm obsessed. I already have OCD. You know what I'm saying? My therapist said it's some of the worst he's seen, you know, in his 40-year history. I'm obsessive compulsive, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I get focused on something, I just go overboard. And quite honestly, Marlon was actually cool about it. We had a conversation before, you know, I went public with it, and he said, he told me his point of view. I told him mine. He didn't, we couldn't come to an agreement, and I was an asshole and made the whole conversation public. And whatever came of it is whatever came of it, and I accept it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just me being an asshole.
What was going through your mind when he told you his price?
Well, what went through my mind then is the same thing that goes through my mind now, is that a Marlon Wayans interview asking for $40,000 plus 30% of all the revenue just makes no financial sense. See what I'm saying? And that was my point. That it's a guaranteed financial loss to do something like that. And I felt that had he respected the platform on any level, then that wouldn't be the price that I get, because we established during our conversation that when he did like Breakfast Club or Big Boy or Drink Champs, he didn't charge him anything. You know what I'm saying? So I felt it wasn't a good business move, and I still feel it's not a good business move. If I got approached today to do the same interview for $40,000, I wouldn't do it either.
I understand that. I mean, taking the
but
loss part.
But I was being an asshole. I didn't have to take it public, and I admit to it.
My part, because I lost when you lost that to me, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't that you asked for the money or that y'all was going through that. That's regular shit, right? But you was making it seem like that Wayans name, like there wasn't the legacy behind that name.
Oh no, I never said that.
That's the way it came.
I never said that on any capacity. In fact, the fact that I even had the conversation with him was because of who he is and the Wayans name and me being a fan.
Right. No, it was like
I never downplayed.
It was like you're not worth it. It was the way.
No. All right, so just business wise.
Right, business wise. Understood.
Let's think. Let's put it in terms of the name a rapper we all love.
Oh, Eminem.
Oh, y'all just went up. Like
put on that new Ray.
Somebody that might not be as popular. Jadakiss.
Yes.
If you own a club, you want Jadakiss to come through,
right?
And he hits you with a number where in your mind you're like calculating. You're like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this back.
Right.
And you say, yeah, that don't make sense. I don't think that's a shot at Jadakiss as much as it is a conscious business decision.
Yeah.
I understand that.
You dig what I'm saying?
I
There's
do.
been people that come to me and they be like, yo, so you know, yeah, I really want to do the interview, so I'm gonna have my people call you, and they'd be like, yo, we want this for the interview, and I'm like,
I wouldn't do that.
yeah, nah.
Right, no,
I'm gonna make this
I
back.
understood the take a loss part, right? But to
Right.
say, yo, listen, all right, listen, I looked over y'all numbers, right?
Yeah.
I can't do this because technically this is taking a loss from me. If y'all come up with a better something, I can fuck with that. But for that, I
Right.
can't do that, right?
Right.
To go, yeah, nah, I don't think that you're worth the 40,000.
Was it a
Well,
personal
well,
thing?
well, no,
Was it
I
knowing
can't-
that
I
he
mean,
didn't charge
being an
anyone else?
asshole.
No.
right?
I came up with a number that made sense, and he didn't want to do it, and that's cool. Like, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
It was just the number was so huge. I never had anyone ask me for a number that big before. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was just like, and the thing is that he was, his people who he said was speaking on his behalf said that it's based on how much he gets for shows. And I'm trying to explain that one is not,
The other.
you know,
Yeah, right.
connected to the other.
Unless you're showing up with like a good 2 hours. Of
Well, even then,
Even then.
you do a show, people are paying a ticket price. They're showing up. They're buying drinks. They're buying chicken fingers. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? They're buying a pizza.
Might get a
you know,
t-shirt, might get
they
some
might get a
merch.
t-shirt. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? They're, you know, maybe the show was taped afterwards, whatever else. There's a whole lot that goes into an actual show. You can't compare a show to an interview.
Right. More revenue.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't think he's ever charged, you know, for an interview before. I think I was the first one, so I think he came up with a really huge number. And what I said originally is what I still say. I don't think anyone is paying him $40,000
Was
to
it
do interviews.
40,000? It was
It
40,000.
was 40,000
40,000.
plus 30%.
The 30%.
Plus 30%.
Ownership.
Right.
Well, revenue forever.
Revenue for so
Yeah.
So basically, you got to calculate.
So let's
that
just
every
say that I do the interview and I make 40,000. I pay him the 40,000. Then I got to pay him another 12,000 on top of it.
30%.
That's 30%. So really, I paid 52,000.
month. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my only thing. And I don't know if anyone, like, I don't think Shannon Sharp paid him, you know, and then he did, what do you call it? He did Shaq's,
Well, we don't know if Shannon paid him. We don't know.
I'm assuming he did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's an
Assumption is the
it's, an,
mother
it's,
of
an,
all
it's an
assumptions.
assumption. It's an assumption.
He was like, Vlad gonna pay
No,
my
well, I
child
mean, here's
support.
what I be thinking, right? If
Yeah.
it was 50,000,
He
right?
like, Vlad gonna
The
pay
Marlon
this
Wayans
child
interview,
support.
right? If
Yeah.
you over the, because I see, you know, you chop it, you break it, you flip
Right.
it, you selling nicks, you selling dimes, 20 pieces,
Correct.
the whole thing, right?
Correct.
Boom. Over the course of it all, I'm not, just say not Marlon Wayans, but do you make over 50 on one of these? Is there a break-even point on an interview number for you?
It depends on the interview, but to get 40,000 plus,
52.
you have to get many, many millions of views. So, for
Yeah.
example, when you look, okay, so the Shannon Sharp interview got millions of views. It was hyped up as his response to me. This is how he tweeted. Oh, Vlad, I'm going to go with a guy who you hate the most, and this is going to be things. They didn't mention me at all on the interview. So I think a lot of people tuned in to see Marlon's response
You
to me.
hate Shannon Sharp?
No, I don't hate him. He just said that.
We'll
you know,
get
I
back
just
to it.
questioned him
Right.
making millions of dollars off of the Cat Williams interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, look, he did that interview, but then he did Shaq's podcast afterwards, and it got a few 100,000 views. And
Right.
Shaq is a bigger celebrity than all of us put
Right.
together,
Right.
including Marlon Wayans, including Shannon Sharp, including everybody. Shaq is one of the most popular people on the planet, and it got like, I don't know, 400,000 or 500,000 views,
Right.
which is what I predicted that a typical interview with Marlon gets, and I'm right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I
So how do you-
regret going all public with it and whatever else, because I was really just being an asshole and I was being unprofessional. But my original statement of it's not a good business decision to pay this much money.
Mhm.
Your price could be whatever your price is, but if no one's paying that price, clearly your price is too high.
Right.
That's how I look at it. So, you know, if Marlon's called you up and say, hey, listen, I'm going to do an interview with you instead, I want 40,000. Would you pay him?
I don't see
And you
how
know
I
how the
get
numbers
back.
work.
I would have to turn that down because I don't see how.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's my point. That's my point.
We could roll the dice and maybe.
Yeah, but you're rolling some very heavy dice.
Right.
And dealing with a potentially very heavy loss.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But
And-
he wouldn't tell everybody.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
where you went
exactly.
left. I'm cool after
which
you
is
saying
why I
I-
started the conversation with I was being an asshole.
Which is why I was just about saying I'm
I was
cool
being a
with
jerk. I was
everything
being
after that.
unprofessional, and I shouldn't have done that. And I apologized publicly. I'm apologizing again on this platform. And I also, me and him had talked on the phone. I have his number. I texted him personally and said, I apologize. Here's a video of me kind of saying this with academics. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The other day, you were actually cool with me up until the point that I started being extra with it. If you ever want to talk about it, you have my number.
Right.
He chose not to talk about it, and that's cool. I respect that. Not everyone, just because you apologize to someone, doesn't mean that person needs to accept your apology at that moment.
Not at all.
Or ever. And I understand that. And I'm cool. I can live with my decisions, and you know, I'm sure he can live with his as well.
Right.
The
You
other
don't
day,
feel he charged you that much because he really feel like you're a culture vulture?
I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that the woman that we were dealing with, I DM'd him and said, "Is this person representing you?" And he said, "Yes." And when she gave me that price, I responded, I said, "You know, I would rather you just say you don't fuck with me than to give me a price like this."
It can get sticky.
Hey, yo.
It can get sticky.
You know, and this is, and then, but then we got on the phone. We got on the
I'm not
phone
gonna
after.
lie.
Not fucking with
I
me.
had people reach out to
Say
me.
no.
I had people reach out to me and ask me for $30,000
Right.
for an interview that maybe a month later I got for free.
Right, but I mean, do y'all think that maybe these people are looking at y'all like
They don't really
y'all
want to
are,
interview
no,
you.
no, but y'all are at a point where an interview with y'all is
You
bringing
mean
in
you
that
mean
much
they
money? They pocket watching. Yeah, you think that people are pocket watching?
Yeah.
That's of course.
Yeah, every day.
Because your numbers is out there. They like Vlad is
My
a billion.
numbers are out there, and certain, you know, like the Boosies of the world, you know, have done interviews and talked about their numbers. You know, not to say the numbers are always accurate, but you know, it sounds good.
That's not very humble. With you know,
You know
it's
what I'm
not
saying?
really accurate.
You know,
No, but I
Me and
understand.
Boosie have talked about it.
Yes.
Have talked about it on my show about the numbers that he
Right,
quoted aren't exactly accurate, but that's okay if he wants to publicly say those numbers. But some people might take that as, oh, Boosie really getting whatever, like 50,000, 100,000 per interview, whatever he said on the Breakfast Club, and they think, okay, well, I'm going to do that too. But those numbers a lot of times are just for show. You know,
I know how.
Yeah, and I told you
Yeah.
when I heard about this shit, I was like, Vlad, you fucking up the game, bro.
listen, you're not the first person who told me that. Robin from Baller Alert said I fucked up the whole game by paying for interviews. You know, because I made it harder for everyone else. But that's okay.
No, you
it's
not
not
only
okay.
made it harder for everyone else.
Said no, it's not.
You
okay.
made a lot of people feel like on their startup, they need a huge cachet and they're just throwing the bread. I've seen platforms like strip clubs just.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
And I'm like,
I've seen it too.
yeah, the subscribers ain't matching up to what you're spending.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of platforms that I know have paid a lot of money for guests, and you look at the views and you kind of scratch your head and going, is this
What
a
are you
drug
doing?
front? I mean, like,
right. You washing
where did this money, where did you make this back?
Right.
You know what I mean? Listen, I run, see, but here's the thing, like, I've never had investors. I've never had startup money. I've never had partners. I've never had cosigns or whatever else. Everything I do has to be a profitable venture. If it's not a profitable venture, I have to start laying people off. And I don't want to do that. You know, we already, you know, we had a whole news section for like 15 years. And, you know, we literally shut down the news section. I had to lay off like 5 people. You know, that was painful. Some of those people have been with me for like 12, 13 years. I felt bad. But ultimately, we have to run a business that makes the money back and there's a profit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In order to keep it going, or else we have to ultimately shut down the business. And you've seen lots of businesses come and go over the years. There's been, you know, there's been lots of, you know, big all deaf digital, and, you know, companies that were like hot at one point and were the next big thing, the blog era, all those people from that whole era, very few are around these days.
You think about all the hip hop sites that we used to go on.
Yeah, they're gone.
World Star.
That's
World Star's
around.
still around.
World Star's still around.
But it got
LimeWire.
sold. It got sold.
Right.
World
Yeah.
Star got sold after Q.
LimeWire was
So,
never a hip hop site.
here's a
You was
question
just
for you.
stealing.
I think
You was
Picture
just stealing, bro. You was
that?
just stealing.
There we go.
I got a question for you.
Perfect.
Picture Perfect.
Yeah, he over there at World Star right now.
Oh,
I
is he?
got
Okay.
Picture Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would you interview for free right now?
They said money changed niggas. If you a real nigga, ain't gonna change much about you. But it will bring some snakes around you. Pray for counsel when you find out what that cake amount to. Lord, I'm so thankful for your blessing. I ain't stressing cause I'm focused on the cash route. Say he's still working overtime, but I pay him no mind, and that's probably what he mad about. I be hopping on planes, touching clouds while these haters and these thirsty ass bitches trying to grab clout. Praying to you, please keep the police off me if I ever gotta take one of their ass out.